Okay, my little setup or whatever. When you don't give a reaction, they start to panic. So they start harassing you and or and the way that they harass you is that they manipulate you. They try to connect with you. Like they try to send you. I don't know. It's like the way that they attacked you that used to work before, it doesn't work now. So they're trying to find ways, you know. So it's like they don't like being ignored and they know that you're ignoring them. So they had to find a way to get your attention, but that didn't work. It only exposed them. Like before, okay, so before you cut them off, and then they was trying to make it seem like, oh, you can't cut your mama off. That's disrespectful. You need to respect her. She's still alive and all that type of stuff like that, because they knew that was the only communication that you would be able to not break from or whatever. Because you know that's your mom. She instilled it in you and all type of stuff like that. But little do they know, what you talking about. It's just, I was in a state of mind to think like, okay, but boom, if you cut everybody off and you still talking to one individual person that you were supposed to cut off because they're a part of your family, but you didn't because you thought you had a certain bond with them, and then it's like people are steady trying to attack you because of a situation that you expressed to the, like in confidentiality. You said something to this person, so now this person is using that as leverage. So it's like, oh, they're trying to convince you to give your kids to somebody who you already explained, like, bitch, you sound like, now that I think about it, you sound dumb as hell. Like all respect out the window. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit no more, because I shared a sentimental situation with you, and you're still trying to encourage me to let my kids go over somewhere where I don't think that they'll be safe. Or if I feel like a motherfucker don't fuck with me and they don't like me, why would I want them around my kids? And if I explain it to you and you still trying to encourage me to let my kids go over there so I can be in contact with them, like you got you got serious issues, and you're beyond, like, at this point, like, what the fuck, like, at this point. So now that your kids are in that person's hold or whatever, your parent felt like that was going to put you in an emotional state to where they, like, now you need me, you gonna call me and talk to me, all stuff like that. Because if you're not initiating the situation, you're not responsible for whatever happens, only the decision that you make. But because they're not respecting your boundaries and what you told them, that like the reason why they cut you off, they're not having faith in you, they think that you being sneaky and all this stuff like that, it only shows you how guilty they is, because they're trying to keep an eye on you about what you're learning and knowing and all this stuff like that. Okay. So now that the person that you tried to give a chance to, because you was like, no, I don't feel like that, you whatever, so I'm gonna give them another chance. Now it's like, if I'm not in contact with them, they're not picking up on my energy, and I'm not responding to nothing or giving them a reason to feel like they need to keep an eye on me. What's really good, what's really being done, and all types of stuff like that. And then it's like something happened, so your parent called you, and it's like they were a little cocky about what happened, so it's kind of like they were celebrating. And it's like, before they call you, they have to ask their source for protection, or they got to turn off they, whatever the fuck the case may be, so that you can't pick up on their energies or what they truly felt or whatever. I don't know. Like, this shit is really crazy. But yeah, they trying real hard. They trying every which way. Mugs are so stupid though. They feel like because you're communicating with them and talking to them about um your pregnancy, that you trust them, but it's really a test to see how far they will go. And now, okay, because it was a situation where it was like, you know, I'm this and I'm that, just trying to get you to say like, oh, don't touch her and all this, just giving them the go ahead. Okay, so what God did to you was told everybody not to touch you, and it don't matter what she do, she will not be punished. But if I had went, if I would have had took that to my head, if I would have been cocky and started doing stuff to people, and it's like, oh, I'm not gonna get in trouble. That was just a test for God to see how I truly was. If I was given a go ahead, like the purge, if I was given permission to do things to people and not get punished, what did I decide to do? To stay on my path and continue to lead people in the right direction and not take advantage of them or abuse my authority. Divine feminine. Oh, and also the reason why they're stuck on divine feminine is because they got used to the lifestyle that divine feminine was supposed to be into, but because it kept getting snatched from her and delayed and procrastinated and pointed in the wrong direction, it's taking divine feminine a little bit longer to reach the goals that she set for herself. And people saw that she was getting there and gonna receive it, but only at the time that she was ready to receive it. And people felt like, oh, okay, well, she gotta wait till she's 20-some years old. I'm gonna be that age before she turned that age. So once I turn that age, that's when I'm gonna start messing with her, manipulating her, and picking her mind up, doing all this and third. Like, y'all bitches weird as fuck. And now y'all got used to that lifestyle. Now y'all gonna have to go back to being peasants because that's not y'all shit to keep in the beginning. So what they wanted to do was try to do stuff for you so that you could feel obligated to get them what it was. But because of the way that they manipulated you into giving it to them, they're not able to keep it. So regardless of if you say, yeah, okay, I feel bad, da, 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 and you took that karma, that shit gonna get sent right back to them tenfold, and they're gonna lose the possession of what they stole of yours. So it's like, and burnt the bridge that, you know, once you got to where you was going and you saw the help that they helped you with, instead of manipulating you, you would have allowed them to be a part of it. But they didn't want to be a part of it. They wanted to be the one in possession of it with their goofy asses, not expecting you to catch on. And then I guess your parent got sick of your presence because you kept denying the temptation that was being thrown at you, and felt like, well, I need somebody else who she's not accustomed to or don't know their habits or whatever the case may be. So now, for backstabbing you, they're drowning in their sorrows because they realize that they attacked the wrong person. They're realizing how powerful you are, who you are, the fact that you know you didn't retaliate, and then in order for it to make sense, that other motherfuckers was blaming divine feminine for what they were doing. So if your parent, they raised you, they know how you are and all this stuff like that, they could play in your energy towards somebody else, and then they can have a conversation with you and energy dump what they told the other person, so that when that person tries to connect with you, you'll say things like, oh yeah, me and my mom was talking about this, da da da, but you're saying it as you or some shit. I don't know, however your mama manipulated your mind to repeat what she, okay, so you repeated the energy of your parent, but the conversation was had in your energy. So when that person says, oh yeah, that sound like her, and then you actually say it, it's like, oh yeah, that's her. And it's like, no, I was saying shit out of sarcasm because the download I received was about something that you were supposed to say, and the energy behind that was a whole bunch of bullshit. But um the person that set the trap was expecting divine feminine to just go off or whatever, but it's not until the situation happens that divine feminine speaks on it. So they had to make the situation happen. And then it says, the way that they manipulate you is flip it on you for something in the past. Yeah, so if you telling them, like, I know everything that you did, and then they say, well, you was a badass kid as a kid, knowing that you manipulated me every day. Like, how the fuck was I a bad kid when I stayed out the way, stayed to myself? I was in my room 24/7 or outside. I never had a conversation with you. I never had a situation where I was going back and forth with you. Only time, and then even when you was barking down, on me, what you say every time, people, oh, what's she over there? She's sitting here looking stupid, not saying nothing. Yeah, because I don't have anything nice to say, so I'm not going to say it, because once you say it, you can't take it back type stuff. So why would I disrespect my mama, and I'm dependent on you and all this other stuff? And then they try not to educate you on things that you could be accessible to, as far as getting a job, saving your money for a car, or looking at an apartment, or none of that shit like that, because they wanted to use you and abuse you by you not being educated enough to understand yourself or your spirituality, or when people try to energy dump or pick up on your energy or feed off your energy, or type stuff, because they bored. But you found your way through it, and they were getting mad, so they were trying to stop you from finding your way through, because every time you defended yourself or you spoke on the situation, and you proved your innocence, and you found out who was the one that was attacking you, and you paid attention to them, and you started catching on to them, and all this stuff like that. What they say? Flip it on you for something in the past, irrelevant to the situation at the moment. So yeah, like when they try to say, oh, you was a bad kid, but it's like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. And then if you are like a people pleaser, you would say like, dang, she right, she did do this and that. But that was before you realized that they were like energy dropping on you, like they were setting you up to make you feel like that, to justify why they did what they did, but you didn't realize that they was doing it on purpose. And then that don't got nothing to do with why you're confronting them. Now that you want to stick up for yourself, they want to play the victim type stuff. And then they know you know who's attacking you. Yeah. They know you know who's attacking you. Okay. So in the beginning, you didn't know who was attacking you. You thought that you was communicating with God and your guardian angels and your ancestors on your path and your journey, your spirituality, and all this like that. You were aware of it, but you didn't really understand it, or you didn't pay attention to it, or. So you were being communicated with, and then you gave your response. So then now, say like you at somebody's house or whatever, and they looking at you, or they feel some type of way about you, and you don't even know what it is, and they say, or they speak on the situation, but they make it sound like it was, oh yeah, girl, I was at work today, and da 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 da. But because you forgot about your download, you're not really paying attention to that, and that's what they mad about, because it's like, I know you know that I'm, or some shit like that or whatever, but it's like, it kind of sound familiar to you, so you keep a note of it, but you don't know that you supposed to, you know. So basically what they was doing was waiting for you to say it to their face, because they steady saying bits and pieces, or trying to trigger you or something, so that you could, or whatever. So instead of being sarcastic in a 3D, you switch it to being sarcastic in a 5D, because you didn't want to prove to people, because it was a setup. Like, you were saying that out of sarcasm, but you didn't explain, like, girl, I'm being sarcastic. I know that you trying to do this and the third, and you didn't expose them, because you were more hurt by who said it, and dang, that's how y'all really feel. But at the same time, when you would go back home, your mom would wipe your memory, so you wouldn't really remember nothing, or whatever the case may have been. So planning your future, they're insulted, rather steal and do it first, but they don't follow through. So you're planning a life for yourself. You said, oh, I want to be a YouTuber, kick it with the YouTubers. They work together, they do things together, they help each other out, they're supportive, they on the same page as me, they talk that talk, they talk that business, and all this stuff like that. And then like the third party, say they'll get mad, and then your family members will play on that and cause chaos with the third party, so the third party could attack you and put you in a low vibration, and then you be like, dang, don't nobody like me around here, and so then you'll try to ask your family, like, can we be back family? Bitch, what? an apology. Somebody wants to give you an apology.